Hi, second grade. Today we're going to be focusing on color. And so in your packet I sent to you, you should have a color wheel worksheet. So what I would like for you to do is before we start, you need to get 6 colors. All right. The 6 colors you need are yellow, red, and blue, which are your primary colors. And then the other colors you need are orange, green, and purple or violet. Okay, these are your secondary colors. So you need these 6 colors to complete this. If you have markers or crayons, that's fine. And so what we're gonna do today is our large circles, those are your primary. They are larger in this worksheet because they are the most important. They are what we create every other color with. So using my primary, I am going to take some time and create one large face with yellow, one large face with red, and one large face with blue. If you want to even do this where you're coloring around their eyes, it's fine. I'm just coloring right over them. Okay, so you have your primary, and it actually says red, yellow, and blue are the 3 primary colors. They cannot be made by mixing any other color. So I can't use any other color to make those. These are the pure colors. Okay, so those are my primary. After you do that, we're going to think about the secondary. So in my mind, I'm saying, okay, well, if I had some yellow paint and if I had some red paint and I mixed them together, what would I get? And hopefully you're saying orange, you would get orange. So I'm going to come in here and make some orange. And then you could say, oh, look at, I have blue and I have red. And if I mix and mix and mix, what would I get? And hopefully you're saying violet. Please note, violet and purple, same color. So if I say purple or if I say violet, means the same thing, same color. All right, and then when you think about blue and yellow, mix, 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 they will make green. Okay, so what I'm going to ask for you to do is complete this. So then you have it for the lesson that we're going to do with some paint. So go ahead, pause the video, spend some time filling this out. You can read down here, so you can just really refresh your memory, and then I'll be right back with another video. Okay, second graders, so hopefully you have your color wheel all done. And what I'm going to ask you to do in your packet that I sent home, you should have a really long, tall piece of watercolor paper. You should have also a leaf stencil. You should have your Sharpie. Okay, this is something that was on your supply list. And then we're going to be using our watercolor palettes, and the only other thing that you'll need is a water cup. So if you just set up your station kind of like you see mine, it's going to help you be very successful today. So today, thinking about that fall season, we are still in fall. I know that the leaves are literally falling super quickly, especially with the wind and the rain that we've had this week, but I want to spend some time focusing on that leaf shape. So last art project we did our overlapping leaves to show movement. Today we're going to focus on color. So the very first thing, I'm going to start with my name right on the bottom of my paper using my Sharpie. And I am going to trace my leaf 3 times. Now, if you do 4, that's fine. You just definitely need 3. All right, and I like to actually move my leaf down my paper so it almost looks like the leaves are falling, that idea of movement again. And notice I'm not overlapping these. I'm not drawing on top of each other. They're all separate. And so even though talking about primary colors may be review, we've talked about it in kindergarten, we've talked about it in first grade, it's always really, really helpful to do exercises to keep your mind fresh and to remember those. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to be using our watercolor palette And we're gonna take two primaries, and when they meet, we'll actually create that secondary. So today you're only using red, you're only using yellow, you're only using blue. All the other colors should remain dry. You are not using those. So looking at my color wheel here, I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna start with some yellow, I'm gonna start with some red. So let's get some yellow. And remember, watercolors are to be watery. You don't want them sticky or gooey. All right, and I'm gonna work to paint inside the lines. And the nice thing is I did give you a watercolor paper, so the paint will absorb very nicely and it will be nice and intense in color where it's not gonna go through your paper. Watercolor paper is very, very important to use when we're using watercolors. Okay, so now I'm gonna wash my brush, get some red. I feel like I need a little more water in my red. It's a little sticky. Okay. So I'm going to go in with some red. Once again, try to stay in those lines. Use the very tip of your paintbrush in those smaller areas. Okay, and then using a teeny bit of water, I'm going to let these colors combine in the middle. And I am actually seeing some orange. Okay, so I'm saying, oh, here's one primary. Here's a secondary, or for another primary, and then I have my secondary. Okay, so let's move on to my next one. I'm gonna do blue. I know this weekend coming up is going to be really nice. So we do have a big plan of getting all those colorful leaves raked up in our yard. Get ready for the colder days. Okay, so here's my blue. Wash my brush really, really well. Okay, you don't want your paint to mix in your palette. You always want to keep your colors as pure as possible in there. Okay, so here's my yellow on this one. And once again, I'm going to get a little water. See some green. So I'm making those colors. Okay, so I have two primary making orange, two primary making green, and my last one is blue. So thinking blue and red are is my last combination. You can see I'm constantly making sure my paintbrush has enough water. If your paintbrush gets dry or if your paint feels really sticky and gooey, just get some more water on there. Okay, there's my blue. Wash my brush. My red. Okay, once again, it's just some water. I'm going to mix them together and get some purple. Okay, so you are going to be the creator of those secondary colors. So remember, I'm not using them out of the palette. I'm creating them with those two primary. So please spend some time on these. Remember, 3 leaves, paint in the lines, enjoy the process, and then please snap a picture, share it to me on the Padlet page so we can all enjoy your artwork. So enjoy your color mixing and have a great day.